Mr. Scanlon, and I'm here to talk to you about Analyze Ed and our ACT Prep as we get the juniors ready to take their ACT test in April. They've taken a practice ACT in January, and they've taken that using a program called Analyze Ed. And I want to explain a little bit about how that works, what they should be doing, how you can help check that they're on pace. And we are about a month away from taking the actual ACT here at Marian Catholic. So we use this program called Analyze Ed because some colleges are returning to the test and we don't know which school your child's going to apply to. And it's a very fluid situation with colleges requiring the test, not requiring the test, test optional, all those kind of things. So we want to make sure that when your child applies to a college, they have everything they need and they're not scrambling next fall and next winter to try to get this done. Many scholarships are still based on these test scores, so no matter if the college requires the test or not, the scholarships are still requiring test scores, and it could be a matter of thousands of dollars in some cases. So also the most important reason why we use Analyze Ed is we really like the fact that the program's individualized. It's going to look at your child's score, your child's errors, where they score the lowest, and we're going to take a much closer look at that here as we get into the program. So you can have your child open up the program for you and log in. They'll see their name up in the top corner, and when you click down on that, you'll be able to choose their score. So when we look at their score, for this child, their score is in blue. Your score will be in blue. And above that is the projected score. So this program is looking at least a 2 to 3 point increase across the board for these tests. Now, the red mark, the benchmark, that's like the national standard, the national norms. So where should your child be? They should be at least at that red mark. That's like the mid range. So that's where they should be. So some of you are going to see that red mark above your score. Some are going to be below. Wherever you're at, we're looking more at your score and your projected score, trying to move up. You'll also see a button there for a detailed report. When you get into the detailed reports, you're going to see a few different things. I'm only going to look at really one of these here, and that is the admission standards. These are in this program, but I strongly recommend that you have your child and you'll be talking to your guidance counselor about colleges coming up, and check in with them and use our system. It's a little more accurate, we believe, with what these scores say, because a highly selective school taking a score of 25 is probably not accurate. So we encourage you to see your guidance counselor here at Marian. They are a huge help to our students and a great asset, so please use them. It'll also show your national rank, your percentiles. So if you're a percentile, if it says you're in the 60th percentile, that means you scored higher than 60% of the students taking the test. If you're in the 80th percentile, you scored above 80% of the students taking the test. Your raw score breakdown, this is just number right, number wrong. Okay, you normally don't look too much at this, but this program does look at what did you get right, what did you get wrong, because it's going to help individualize it. When we look at that chart, we're seeing a pie chart for English. Now you'll see one for each of the tests, but I'm just going to use this one here. This is saying that of the questions that the student got wrong on the test, 18% of them were verbs, 18% of them were advanced sentence structure, and 18% of them had to do with effective sentences. Just those three areas, that's 54% of the students' errors on this test on English. So by focusing on those three areas, it's going to push the score higher than just a general, how do I do an English part of the test? So we're going to look at that. You can see it shows 46% of all the other areas. This Pareto chart can get a little confusing sometimes, but basically it's just showing you if you have 18% of those first three, and by working on those, you're seeing the red line showing how much your score could increase by getting rid of all those errors. So we can see some great increase, great improvement there. Once you've looked through the charts and you've seen that you can get into the ACT course. Now your child should already be doing this. We've been doing this for a few weeks in Emmaus's, but they should probably be doing this at home as well to help make sure that they get through everything, go through it a couple times. So we're going to look at the course. In the course, there's going to be the 4 areas of the test: English, math, reading, science. And those are the 3 areas that we looked at where this child specifically didn't do as well. So this child, when you look at the English, those are those 3 areas again that we saw on the pie chart, and that's the focus. So they're gonna work on that. So they'll click on effective sentence and they'll work through the lessons for effective sentence. Then they can do the next one, and then they can do the verbs. And then once they're done with that, then you'll see practice tests. So once they complete those 3 areas, they can take a practice test. So they don't have to take a 3 or 4 hour practice test. They just take the English test. So it takes 30, 40, 45 minutes depending on the test. There's also strategy videos. So beyond the content that they're working on in those 3 specific areas, there's also a general how to approach the English section, how to approach the math section, how to do that. Your child can work on every single area of the test, that's fine, but those 3 areas of most concern, the key focus areas, are where we want to be. So, like I said, we've been doing this for a few weeks here. We should be catching up a little bit, seeing where they are. Check with your child to see where they are on this timeline. So March 1st, we should have finished the first section and done a practice test. The next week, we should have had another one done. The 15th, we should have the 3rd section done. So that means like English, math, reading. Doesn't matter what order they did it in. We just want to make sure they're getting through all 4 sections kind of by the end of the month. Because when we look at April, we're going to be on spring break. And when we come back from spring break on Tuesday, April 11th, we are 1 week and 1 day from actually taking the test. So I would strongly suggest that over spring break, we take some time and work on these, on this test prep, half hour a day, 45 minutes a day, making sure we're going through it and doing everything we can to get the scores as high as possible. On Wednesday, April 19th, it's a half a day of school. We are giving the test to the juniors in the morning here at Marian Catholic on a Wednesday. That's already been all taken care of. Everybody is registered, and we are all ready to go for Wednesday, April 19th. We'll test in the morning, and then at about 11:45, like a regular half day, the juniors will be released for the day. So thank you very much. I hope you can help your child work on this, and we'll get these scores up and improved by the time we hit April. Thank you for your time.